Plaintiffs Brooke Skaggs and her girlfriend Sabrina Esparza met the defendant at a country music show, and they became roommates after moving to Nashville. However, they claim the defendant lied constantly, and they're suing her today for unpaid rent. Defendant Amber Shelley says living with the plaintiffs was uncomfortable because they constantly put her in the middle of their arguments. Amber denies owing them for unpaid rent.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you all.
All right, so we met Amber back in the beginning of 2020. We met at a Lauren Elena show. If you don't know who Lauren is, she's a country music singer. She was on American Idol about 10 years ago, so we love her.
Okay.
We stayed in contact after the concert. We would FaceTime and text all the time. That's when COVID started, so quarantine, we all just talked a lot. We noticed that Amber lied sometimes about some different things.
You know, we actually made a joke one time saying she had Liabetes because she lied.
Liabetes? Oh, I love it. Put that in our pocket. Go ahead. Liabetes.
We would encourage her not to lie because we love her the way she is, so we didn't think
What
that
type
was
of things, if you don't mind saying? What type of, just the small things perhaps?
Yeah.
Some people
some
just
people like-
liabetes. They just lie about small stuff. Go ahead.
Just like something little about her, you know, about dating a boy for 4 years, and we found out they never even dated. It was like little things like that, and we're like, I don't know if she wanted to like try to fit in, or we just wanted to, you know.
Okay.
And we loved her, like we, you know.
But you all got along and you maintain your friendship? Okay.
Yes.
Continue.
Yeah, so over, quarantine, Sabrina and I started dating. So once we all, talked all the time, we realized that we all wanted to move to Nashville. Sabrina wanted to move to Nashville for a long time, and Amber as well, as since she was a little girl. So we all decided Nashville was, the place to be.
Country music capital. They also make some great gospel music down there. BB and CC Winans are down there turning the town upside down. A few others from Nashville. Take Six, one of their guys. Go ahead, though. I love Nashville. I performed at the old opera. I didn't sing. We did a stage production. Me and my dear friend and classmate Fred Hammond as a kid. While me and him were friends as a kid, Fred Hammond, a great gospel singer, we did a national tour stage production when I first came to television, with me being a judge in the production, and we played the Grand Ole Opry. That was one of the biggest experiences in my life. I'm able to say I played the Grand Ole Opry, and so. We're together. We love to say we go to the same places, and we love the same crowd. All right, awesome. So you all enjoy in Nashville, I'm sure. And,
yes, we love it here.
And how did you all become roommates?
Yeah, so we all talked about it and decided that we had moved to Nashville. We signed a lease for 1 year back in September of 2020, midway through September.
And actually, after like a few weeks of living together, we noticed Amber didn't help much with the like cooking, cleaning, shopping, like grocery shopping. But we did, like, anytime we cook, we did invite her to come eat with us because we were friends. So, we didn't mind that at all.
Okay. And what was the agreement on rent? Split 3 ways? How much was that per person?
Split 3 ways. It was $525 each, with the total rent each month being $1,575.
And that started September of 20.
Yes, correct.
September 2020.
All right, you give me some background, ma'am.
Yeah, so like they said, we met in January 2020 at a concert. That's how I've met a lot of my friends. Actually, a few of the girls who are in my wedding are from people that I met at concerts. We stayed connected all through the summer, went and visited each other. I think I visited Brooke maybe 2 or 3 times during the summer. They actually came and visited me once right before we all moved in together.
Can I stop you for a minute? Because I think this might just be for white people. When the black people go to the concerts, we don't even speak to each other because they be talking too loud and interrupting the show and standing up in front of you. That ain't what friends. We make enemies. We start to get mad at each other. Sit down. How you gonna stand up and everybody, you the only one standing and you, and then you want to talk and sing louder than the artist. You don't even know the words, but you're disrupting, and then your arm, you won't let anybody have any other elbow room. I said, so they don't do that at white folks concert. See, we need to learn about each other's culture.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I keep saying that. We need to learn about each other's culture. You couldn't tell me you could make a friend at a concert, and you say that's where you make all your friends. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then in September, we all moved in together, and that's kind of when things got awkward for me because they were dating, and a lot of times I felt like I was put in the middle of their arguments.
Like what? Give me some examples. Give me some minutes.
Yeah, for example, I'd be coming home from work, and I'd either get a phone call or a text message saying, hey, I'm not home, we're fighting, so I left, just wanted to let you know. And it would go from that to I would get text messages asking to go and talk to the other person to figure out what was happening. And if you look on page 3, there's text evidence there just showing that I was put in the middle of an argument and being asked, like, what is she doing? What is she saying? And it just got to too much to make me feel uncomfortable.
Okay, well, that's what friends are for, quite frankly, to go to their friends when they are in distress or hurt or want to vent or want advice. On the other hand, it can go too far if you have mutual friends and you're not encouraging them somehow to reconcile. Service mediator, that's what a friend does with a couple who fuss. Did you service mediator?
Well,
gotta take both sides when you're a mediator.
It's hard to take both sides when one is saying one thing, the other is saying the other. And it just got so much because it then
You
felt
know
like,
when a person lying if nobody knows. You know about a lie. Somebody lying and you know who it is. Don't even try it. Why they call you Liabetes anyway? For real, you've heard, that's your name, nickname? Or street name?
No.
Your street name is Liabetes?
No.
Okay, well, why they call you that then?
I mean, I did lie sometimes, and
Everybody
they did
lies
call me out on
sometimes.
it.
Go ahead.
That's what friends were for. They called me out on it, and when all that was going on, I had a lot of mental health issues going on at that time, and they're not going on anymore. I got a lot of help, got a lot better, but those were going on at the time.
Okay, all right, good that you've gotten better. And when I say everybody lies sometime, I'll tell you when I lie is when people who I know want money out of me, the smallest amount, and perhaps they're addicted to drugs. Well, I know a lot of people like that, and I still see them because I still go back to the old neighborhood and help in other capacities. When they ask me for $20, and I know you're going to go and spend it on crack. So I'm saying, I don't have it. And then I grab my Bible, and I get down, and I say, Lord, forgive me. I don't grab the Bible, but I do say to myself, forgive me, Lord, and I hope you don't hold that. I don't burn too much for that. Nonetheless, I just wanted to clarify that. Well, Judge, he's a big liar too? Yeah, you are too. Whoever's talking about that, you lied too. All right, when your son come ask you for something and you know he ain't doing right with it, you're going to say, I don't have it. All right, now, tell me how the lawsuit came about here, ladies.
Yeah, so I would say about 2 months into our lease agreement, she sent Brooke and I a text message letting us know that she will be moving out either this week or the next. And, you know, she was going home to be with her boyfriend and just other stuff. She just wanted to be home. So, you know, we weren't happy about it, but we also can't, you know, make her stay. And she had stated that she would continue to pay rent and she would never leave us high and dry
Okay.
on that. And then if Your Honor, if you could refer to page 2.
What is it going to tell me?
halfway through, it says, obviously, I'll still figure out a way to pay rent, but if there's any way y'all can find someone to take my place, it would be greatly appreciated.
And we also did reach out to people, people over Facebook. A few friends of mine, I was like, hey, we're in need of a roommate.
Were you successful? Obviously not.
No.
Okay, and you all made an earnest effort. It is ultimately, the law requires her to find a substitute roommate because she's the one putting you at risk of financial harm. You all didn't do anything. You're abiding by the agreement that you all have. So if she breaks that agreement, it's her responsibility by law. And if she's made an earnest effort and you all have made an earnest effort and can't get anyone, then there's a reasonable amount of time in which she can be held liable for the rent that she abandoned.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what do you say about this, young lady? She says you did indeed. They're suing you, even though you said you wouldn't leave them in a bind.
Yeah. So whenever I decided to move out and all that happened, I told them that as long, as they were trying to find somebody, I'd continue to pay. I was told not only by them, but also by the leasing department that I was not allowed to find somebody. I was not allowed to be a part of that was their decision. I had no say in that because I did not live in the house.
Okay.
So because of that, I sat back and I sat quiet. I paid December, January, and February.
Well, let me stop you. That would be in the lease. You have the lease to show me that? That's not something the landlord would tell you verbally. That's in the lease.
I do not have a copy of the lease. I was told that over a phone call that I was not allowed to find the roommate.
They can find one, but you can't for them. You can't help
that's
out.
what I was told.
You can't help your friends. That's pretty much what he said. You can't call and ask your sister who's looking for a place to stay. You can't call her and say, sister, would you like to talk to Brooke and Sabrina because they're looking for a roommate? Landlord say you can't do that.
I was told I couldn't find one, and
okay, he got the disease. How often you hang around him? You done gave him Liabetes. Go ahead. All right.
But so I actually had somebody who was interested, and Sabrina and Brooke told me they didn't want somebody they didn't know. And then the leasing, I was told I wasn't allowed to do it. So I sat back. I paid December, January, and February. I was told in February that
you were breaking the management or landlord's request of you.
Well, I had found that my friend had wanted to move in before he told me that. I told him I had somebody, and he told me it wasn't up to me.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
It was up to their approval. I think that's what he was telling you. You can find someone, but if he's telling the truth at all, you misinterpreted him, and he was telling you that they have to approve the roommate. Now, that is true. Go right ahead. But for that reason, you misinterpreted it and you didn't think you could participate and help find a replacement roommate for a lease you abandoned. And so what did you think? How did you think they were going to be made whole? You as a friend, them being in this position, how do you think they should be made whole without you leaving them in a financially uncomfortable deficit?
Well, I was still paying 3 months. I still paid December, January, February. And in February, I was told that one of their friends was coming down to look at the apartment. I didn't hear anything back from them until the beginning of March when rent was late. And that's when they told me that she had to change plans and wasn't coming down until middle of March. All I had to my name was $300. So I gave them every penny in my bank account. I went without eating when my fiance was not home. So that way I could pay them that money. And as a pregnant woman, not eating is not good. I didn't have a job. I wasn't making money.
Okay.
So I told them that. I told them I didn't have the money to pay it. and told them like month to month that we would be in the same position because I just did not have the money.
All right.
And I never heard anything on the roommate
So
front.
if you'd have stayed there, would you have had the money?
No, I
Or
lost
you
my
left
job in
because you didn't
November.
have the money?
I lost my job in November.
Why did you move?
And
Why did you move? Why did you abandon the lease?
In November, I lost my job right before I left. And that was a big factor of why I left.
What was the main factor?
And I told them that I was going through some mental health things.
That's my point.
Which
So
isn't,
now you're switching it on me.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that that's what I told them. I never told them I lost my job because that was a personal matter. I didn't want to get into,
It's more
losing my
personal
job.
than telling people about a mental health issue. That's more personal.
Well, they
You're
were
not
my
talking to
friends.
them. You're not talking to all these people you lied to. This is what I do for a living. Since when I started law school in 1983, this is what we do. We look at logic and reason and analyze what a person says, and we go back and forth with them and make sense of it. And I can't make sense of what you're saying. You said the main reason is because you had a mental health problem. You say, I didn't even tell them about my financial bind. And anytime a person can't pay, it's the factor. It's the main factor. And I say, why didn't you tell them about your financial situation that you lost your job? Because I would be embarrassed, or I didn't want them, it was too personal. And so mental health disclosures are less personal than not having money in your pocket.
They already knew about the stuff I was going through. So to me, it was easier just to use that as this is why I was going home.
Use it. That implies lie. That implies giving an excuse that perhaps isn't the real one. Use it as the reason, not tell them that is the reason. Use it, meaning I tried to find some excuse to use. What happened with your mental health? Where did you go?
I've seen multiple counselors. I came home. I moved in with.
Where did you move? You moved home?
Oh, yeah. I moved home into the house with my fiance. He lives.
Moved home to the house of my fiance. That's the home you moved to. I believe zero of what she says. She's contradicted herself. She withheld the most critical reason that she left, and that is money. Because mental health treatment, you could have gone to counselors before leaving your lease and putting them in a bind. Instead, you moved in with your boyfriend. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested. Bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I mean, I hope this is all like a learning
Experience
for all of us, and I hope we can move on from there. You know, I wish you nothing but the best, Amber. I know you're pregnant and stuff, but I wish you nothing but the best.
I just wish you all the best, and that's all. Yeah.